All right, guys, in today's video, we are going to install two different kinds of wallpaper. We're gonna do a pre-pasted, and then we're gonna do a paste yourself, okay? We're gonna compare the differences in the process and come to realize that wallpaper is a lot better than it used to be. It's so much easier to work with nowadays. Oh. I'm It's gonna blow your mind. Consider it for your next project because it hides a lot of imperfections in your walls, adds a little bit of texture, and honestly, it's a great way to dress up a wall without having to go and do all the painting. And this is really simple, and you can fix it really quick. Nowadays, the wallpaper that we're installing, it peels off the backing, okay? So if you wanna change it or just remove it altogether, really, really simple. Now, step one, whenever you're doing new construction, you're gonna hang wallpaper, make sure you paint the wall first, all right? It's part of the installation procedure is to have like an eggshell or something along that line, like 100% acrylic paint, okay? Because the paste hits this surface and then you can move and you can position, you can pull it off and reset it really easily, and it's gonna slow down the drying time on you so you got time to work it, okay? If you just go right up against drywall, it's gonna suck all the water out, it's gonna be stuck there really quick, you're not gonna have working time, you're gonna be miserable. Get the primer on, get a coat of paint on, and then it'll change your world. Now, this pattern, it's a 20-inch and a change, okay? And every 20 inches, the pattern repeats. So what you do is you measure floor to ceiling, the first row, and then every row after that, you just add an extra 24 inches to your measurement. You're guaranteed to find the pattern repeat, and you'll have enough wallpaper to cover, all right? That's the basics. That's the rules of engagement here. Let's just get on with it. If you've seen my other videos, I've done wallpaper before. My wife is a bigger fan of this stuff than I am, but how many guys know that if the wife wants wallpaper, the wife is getting wallpaper? Here we go. Okay, so my roll is about 20 inch, and I'm gonna start here. That's a good place to start. You want a straight line to put your wallpaper on, okay? Because this is the line that we're gonna start with. And the discussion, right? So, we're gonna measure floor to ceiling, and looking at 92. So we're gonna cut it 92 long because we can do that when we're starting. And by having a little bit shorter than the width of the wallpaper means we can make it perfect. We can contour, we can fit it up and a down and around an adjustment, because a lot of those inside corners in buildings are like, okay, they're not perfectly level, not plumb. So by starting from here and giving yourself a little extra mercy, saves your bacon every single time. The trick to measuring wallpaper is to know your wingspan. Minus 5 feet, all right? That's 60 inches. So if I want 92, I gotta go wingspan plus 32. Now, I don't have a table that I can roll this out on, right? If you've seen some of these wallpaper videos, they have a craft room with a 12-foot table. Well, God bless them, but that's not realistic on a job site. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go 4 feet and 8 feet. Okay, now each double roll does 56 square feet. That's a lie. Plan on doing 40 because of the overage and offcuts and everything else. And you're gonna screw up at least once. All right, so make sure you give yourself enough material. It's not expensive, but it is frustrating if you almost get done a project and you have to start over again. Okay, now back in the old days, the Martha Stewarts of the world would tell you, you've got to take this wallpaper and you got to give it what they call book time, all right? And that is time to sit in the water. No longer. These are new adhesives that they put on here are really fast acting, and they have really great working time. So all you do is roll it up upside down, okay? Take the curl out of it, nice and loose, and that one's ready. Okay, set it aside. I'm gonna measure off, okay, a few more of those 8 feet and changes, and we're gonna have a few rolls ready. I need 1, I need 2. That takes me right to the edge of my window, which is perfect. I'll do top and bottom. I'll need 3, 4, 5. I'll need 7 rolls. So once I have all 7 rolls cut, then I'm gonna start. That's just really a pain in the ass to have the tape measure on my hip. All right, let's just do this. 4. longer than I thought it was. All right, that is a roll in itself. And this is why you want to take the time to unroll it and roll it the other direction, because this is really wound tight. It's not on a wooden core. So it's going to want to fight. All right. To do this effectively, you do want to have the water close to the wall. And I'm going to need a bench. God help us all. Okay. I have kind of an awkward scenario here, and I'll tell you why. Here's the tools I'm working with today. Not my standards. This is like a little Amazon kit. Wife ordered up for me. Because I'm down here in Florida, I don't have all my tools. So I'm like, well, let me get something cheap, because we all know how cheap I am. And then hopefully we can make this work. This laser line is incredibly crucial. And I read the instructions on this paper. This glue only gives me 5 to 10 seconds in the water before I got to pull it out. So there's no fooling around here, all right? So we're gonna take this loose roll, we're gonna set it in the water, I'm gonna flatten it out a couple times, roll it over a couple times, and then just lift it out. And then I gotta jump up on the ladder and get on with my work here. There we go. Make sure everything gets wet. Now, and away we go. Okay. Woo, yep. Do that more times than I tell you. All right. Oh, hell. Is that gonna get up there? Yeah, that's gonna get up there. All right, let's just do that. Okay, that'll get me started. Okay, now, all we're gonna do is line that up on my laser line. Hit the stop moving. Oh, okay, just work the paper into position. Now, because this is painted, look how easy this is sliding around, right? Like, this is nothing, right? Right there on that line. Okay. Get this out of the way now. Let's get that back where it was before. Bam. Okay. There we are. And it just slides right over into position. Okay. That's just a little bit off. There, got it. One second, Lee, I gotta move this tray. Okay. All right, so here we are. Now we're not gonna use a lot of pressure here, okay? Just gentle. We're looking to get rid of air bubbles at this point. All right, and this should have nice rounded corners. All right, here we go. And so what we're gonna do is get rid of excess. comes with a, these kits should all come with a sharp knife like this. Yeah. Of course, now that it's wet, it's covered in paste. Yummy. Here we go. Getting rid of air bubbles just by running that to the side. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, because I'm actually adding baseboard after the fact, which is a really great program, it makes my life really simple here. So here we go. Here's how you cut wallpaper on up against the edge. Okay. Hold this against the edge, and then you cut against it. Wow, this is a really crappy knife. All right. Okay. Paper will tear if you don't have something holding it down. So if you want to cut it, you got to hold it in place, or it'll just tear. Like, seriously. All right, finally. Oh my God. I'm just gonna persevere. I don't have a choice. I've already started. All right, so now, really simple. We're just gonna set up our next roll. I'm gonna try this one in. Son of a bitch. That one's not gonna work either. That one's even worse. That ain't gonna make it. I'm f***ed. I'm f***ed. The glue is so thick on this paper. I mean, it's not, you don't just feel it. Like, you can, like, bloody well have a conversation with it. It's just unbelievable. Hopefully, those ones will be more useful to me once I get around the corner, because the pattern changes height. Right now, that's just in a really shit spot. Okay. And I can't do this without this right here because it's so fast acting. All right. All right. There we go. We're just going to line up our patterns now. Now, because this has got the adhesive on it, you're going to be amazed, but there's a lot of weight sitting right here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get detailed work on this in a minute. Come on, honey. I'm just going to get rid of that extra weight so it doesn't come falling off the wall. Go. Okay. Okay, line up our patterns. There we go. And use the seam roller. It has a bit of a beveled edge, so it doesn't squeeze out all of the glue, but it does give it a nice flat complexion there. All right. And move the air to the other side. Nice and gentle. Not using much force here, okay? Nice and gentle. Whew, next piece. And that's gonna work out great. I have a window on the other side of this drywall, and I wanna make sure that I can open it up again. So, yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now I'm not going to lose where my window is. All right. I'm actually going to let all of this set up and dry up before I even bother cutting that out. And part of that is just because, guys, when we're working on this, having control of the lighting is really the key. We're in a small room already as it is. And the truth is that's the sunny side of this building. And right now in Florida, it is some sunny. So that's why we've got that drywall shut. Here we go. It's just a matter of pushing these seams together. That's it. Okay. Go. Just a note. If you run into trouble after your install where you've squeezed too much glue out because you've overworked it and the seam's coming up, you can go to the local hardware store and they have a seam glue that you can actually use. It's a small little tube. Just talk to people at the paint department, okay? And they can actually sell you the glue to go back in and do these minor repairs, all right? Piece of cake. Don't fret if that happens to you. All right, now we gotta get up there. Try to trim this ceiling. Don't have a whole lot of faith in this knife. Okay. Now I'm also going to be putting a trim, like a crown molding up here. So I have a lot more mercy to work with than other scenarios that you're going to find yourself in. There we go. Oh my God. Now when you're all done, just take a bucket with a little bit of soapy water, like dish soap, and a rag, wipe all your ceilings. Okay, glue residue actually will stay up there and will discolor. All right, there we are. Okay, now the hard part, right? This is what everybody's waiting for. Let's do that inside corner. There we go. we're going to push this side into the corner. Okay. Here we go. Get that out of the water. Now, I remember watching my parents wallpaper back in the 70s. Let me tell you, corners are the bane of their existence because the longer you worked with their paper, the more it stretched. And so getting around a corner was a real pain in the butt. I watched them struggle with that. There we go. But today's paper is a lot tougher than it was back then. So if your experience with wallpaper is one where it's like tears easily and frustrating, it's probably because you remember doing it a long time ago. The secret here is not to make sure that the paper is pushed tight into the corner. It's to make sure that the corner is pretty. So you can pull the paper out of the corner and create a bit of a concave section there if that solves your problem. Okay. I'm going to pull over there. Here we are, down here. So that's too tight. I'm going to give myself a little bit more wiggle room here. There we go. Hold that steady. And pull this back into the corner. There we go. Okay. Now, we got lots of material here. What we're going to do is we're going to fake a perfect drywall corner. Just pull the air bubbles out. Okay. I'm going to pull that wrinkle out by hand. Close that gap up. Use my seam roller. Just going to take our time here. Make sure that everything looks pretty. All right. This is a mess. We're just going to pull this all out. There's way too much material in that corner there. There we go. Now this is the inherent issue of paper. Whenever you hit a corner, it's not going to be perfect. This lead edge is never going to be perfect. Okay, so we're going to do our best to stretch that nasty spot and pull it towards the ceiling a little bit more, because that's too much in your line of sight. Push more of it back into that corner. All right. Oh. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. This wall has got a huge bow to it. Some miracles you just cannot perform. All right. That's not terrible. By God, that's not bad at all. All right. There we go. Let's just trim that off. Oh, come on, you little bugger. You know what? If it's going to cause me this much trouble, I'm going to wait to trim it off till tomorrow when that glue is dry. I'm going to get myself a sharper knife. All right. Okay. Every knife I have here today, Lee, is an absolute piece of shit. All right. I'm making something relatively easy look pretty damn hard. What in the hell did I do? Oh yeah, I just had to get all the way up there, right? All right, there's my repeat pattern. Okay, that's gonna work just fine. And too much paper, like I said. Look at that. All right. Wow. Let's have a chat. Here we go. Check this out. So I'm level at the bottom. I mowed about a ½ inch in the middle, and then I'm pretty much level at the top again. So now I'm trying to curve my wallpaper to satisfy the scenario. You can't do that. It won't work, right? The same reason we had problems at the corner. So what I'm gonna do, install my wallpaper on a level line again. And I'm going to readjust the pattern, whether you like it or not. There's no other thing that you can do in this scenario to make this work. If you have a different solution to this, by all means hit up the comment section. But for me, the best thing I can do is try to get back closer to the realistic pattern and get my level line back. Because I am all over the place. And I don't want to just sit here and fight with it all day. If my paper is installed level, it'll get installed without wrinkles. Okay? So for my money, that's right. The pattern isn't going to be perfect here. But it's an orientation of the inside of a room where this is the back of the tub and everyone's looking this way. So this is the time, and this is the way you're going to have to just suck it up, buttercup. Because what I need is a perfect orientation right here. Because this corner is so messed up. This wall bows, and that takes this paper curve on the way out. And we can't work with that. Now you got another option. Maybe if you're really skilled, Maybe you cut it off at the corner, right? And you meet the pattern in the corner. That might be an option for you. Love to hear what everybody else has to say about this. Okay. Just working out my air bubbles now. There we go. Ah. Brilliant. No one is ever gonna know. Because I don't think I have any more wallpaper that I can work with. I might be wrong. That's not terrible. Does that make it to the bottom of the ground?
No.
How far?
About 10 inches. If you're able to slide the top down some.
No, I can't. And my baseboard isn't that tall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just really maddening. Eh? How about that one? That one's the same shit, only different. Just it might be longer. Might be a longer roll than this one. I'll take a look. Let's have a look with this one. Same shit. This one's like a 9-foot wall, I think. So I'm kind of f***ed. Well, good, because I'm tired. It's been a long day. Working tired, man. That's what it is. And how long do you think this one is? Probably too short, too. Nope. We're a couple feet short there, too. Oh, it really complements the room. Yep, she did a great job bringing that out.